Alright, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. Anyways, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I hope you guys are staying safe wherever you are when you're watching this video. But in today's video, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys 3 signs or 3 clues to look for, or 3 clues that can give you reasons why your mental health may be falling apart, or if your mental health happens to be shitty at the moment, then hopefully these signs can give you some steps or some things to start working on, so you know you can get yourself back on the road to not only bettering your mental health but getting yourself in a better headspace. And by the way, these are not the only 3 factors that affect your mental health and your day-to-day living. However, though, I wanted to share with you guys my top 3 that have personally been affecting me in different periods of my life, and these are in no specific order either. But before we go ahead and get into this video, whether you're new here or not, be sure to go ahead, smash the like button for your boy. It literally only takes 1 second. You can do it as I'm talking. Just scroll down right now, smash the like button for your boy. Or if you're new here, which by the way, welcome to my channel, be sure to go ahead and watch the full video. Then at the end, let me know down in the comments what you thought of the video, and give me a thumbs up at the end and let me know that I earned your thumbs up. And then also, if you happen to be new here, be sure to go ahead and subscribe and turn on my post notifications bell so you get notified of all my future video uploads and you don't miss out on them. And then once you've done all that, let's go ahead, let's hop into the video. Alright guys, so the first sign to recognize that can be affecting your mental health and can be possibly even contributing to like your decline in mental health is if you've had any changes in your eating and or your sleeping habits. Now, what do I mean by that, and what forms do they come with? Well, let me ask you this. As of recently, have you noticed with yourself, or maybe you haven't even noticed, but have you been eating less? Have you been eating more? Have you been eating more and trying to eat your feelings away, trying to just cope with whatever you're going through? Or have you noticed you're having problems falling asleep at night? Or you've noticed when you wake up in the morning, you're having a hard time waking up or trying to get out of bed? Well, those are some of the habit changes that I'm talking about. And in terms of how these can affect you, and you may not even recognize it, but if you've noticed recently you've had trouble concentrating on certain tasks, if you notice you've been more sluggish throughout your days, if you noticed constant change in moods and you've been feeling more irritable, and the list can go on and on. And I know for me personally, the one that's been affecting me the most is me excessively sleeping in and me having a hard time getting out of bed. And the reason why this started happening, and it's honestly been playing a role in how I've been feeling as of recently, but the reason why it started happening is because you guys know, like, this whole I cannot talk right now. This whole coronavirus thing, like at the beginning, everything got shut down. I didn't need to go anywhere. I didn't have a job at the time. And like, I was just constantly like doing stuff around the house, whether it be scrolling on my phone through TikTok, creating content, or reading. I would just be up late at night, and then thus it would cause me to sleep in. And not only that, but since I've done that so often early on during this quarantine, like it's built my bad sleeping habits now. And now I've been getting up anywhere from like 9 to 11 a.m. and you guys know I'm usually kind of like an early bird. And how that's affected me mentally is when I would get up late at that time, I would wake up not only unmotivated, but I would wake up kind of stressed out because I'm just like, shit, like I got all these things I need to do and I feel like I don't have enough time to do it. And then as I'm going through my day doing all these things, like the next thing you know, it's like the time I usually go to bed, which is 11, I'm just like, shit, I'm not done yet, which then would cause me to stay up late at night, which then in turn has caused me to build these bad sleeping habits. And then thus I'm in this like little hamster wheel mentally of constantly telling myself like, okay, like I need to rewire this shit, I need to fix myself. So that is the first time I want you to recognize. I want you to double check yourself, like, okay, am I eating enough? Am I sleeping on time? Am I getting enough sleep? Am I getting up at a decent time in the morning? And if you haven't recognized it, or if you didn't know it's contributing to why you may be feeling shitty, well, now you know. Now, the second sign to recognize, or the second sign that could be contributing to your poor mental health, or could be responsible as to why your mental health may be declining, is if you've been experiencing a lot of feelings of hopelessness lately, or you've been overwhelmed. Now, what I mean by feelings of hopelessness is basically, have you noticed with yourself recently you've been having feelings of despair, like, man, like the way like the world is right now, or like the way my life is right now, it's just gonna be like this. Like where I am right now in my life is where I'm gonna continue to be for the rest of my life. And if you haven't noticed, then you may be too far deep into what I would call the hamster wheel of negative thoughts already. And I know myself, back then I was definitely a victim of it, and even now I still deal with it from time to time. And the biggest thing that I deal with personally when it comes to having feelings of hopelessness is my relationship status, as a lot of my friends know that are watching this, and unfortunately I use it as an unhealthy coping mechanism, which by the way is not good either. So if you have toxic coping mechanisms like your boy, try to refrain from using them, because it's just not healthy. But what I mean by my relationship status is, like, you guys know, if you don't know, I'm 22 years old and I've been single my whole life. I've never had a girlfriend. I've never experienced a relationship, nor have I experienced what it's like to be in love. And basically how my feelings of hopelessness would work per se is every now and then I would have these periods of time where basically I tell myself, man, I don't think any girl finds me attractive. I don't think I'll ever get in a relationship. I think I'll never be able to experience what it's like being in love. And I honestly think I'm just gonna die alone. And it's not a good thing, just because it can definitely blind you from certain opportunities or certain things that life may be taking you through. And my advice to you and my advice to myself is to constantly remind yourself, and let's be honest, life goes on and life is constantly changing. I know from the outside looking in, if you were to look at your life, you may not see your life changing drastically, but let's be honest, every single day there's something minuscule changing about your life that in the long term is gonna greatly affect it, good or bad, depending on what it is that is being changed. And you got to remind yourself also that you haven't tried everything. And myself, like, I haven't tried everything when it comes to changing my relationship status, or when it comes to not giving up hope in terms of me finding love someday. And let's be honest, like, all your favorite idols, and even since the start of human fucking race, not everybody has tried everything to change their situation or to make them realize, like, okay, there's no hope left. What most people have done is they've tried everything and anything they can until they found the right solution. And then once they found the right solution, they just ran with it. So my advice to you is, whatever you have feelings of hopelessness for, ask yourself, did I try everything? Did I not try everything? What is something new I can try? If you have not asked yourself, now is the time to ask yourself. And if you haven't noticed yourself being in this constant hamster wheel of negativity, of you having these down feelings, or maybe you didn't even know what feelings of hopelessness was, well, now you know, and now is the time to address it. Now, the third and final sign is if you've been experiencing feelings of disconnection. Now, let me ask you this. Have you noticed with yourself that you've been spending a lot more time by yourself? You've been saying no more often than not to hang out with your friends or spending time with your family? Or you've noticed with yourself, when you're in certain situations, specifically in certain social situations, like let's say hang out with your friends, in those rare occasions you do hang out with them, have you noticed with yourself, like, you're not 100% like fully present? If you've noticed that, or if you haven't noticed and you've been asking yourself, like, man, like, why do I feel so depressed? Like, why am I so down all the time? And you're in your room watching this? Well, that's probably why, because you've been spending too much time by yourself and you've been socially isolating yourself, and that's not a good thing. And I mean, don't get me wrong, spending time by yourself is very important and I highly encourage it. But with anything else in life, like, you gotta have a balance, because as humans, our number one goal is to shelter this planet. And how do we shelter this planet? By reproducing. reproducing. And how do we reproduce? We reproduce with a partner. Now, how do we get a potential partner or potential mate to reproduce to continue the human race? Well, we have to be social. So if you aren't being social, then that's probably why you've been experiencing like these overwhelming feelings of sadness, and like you're just constantly sitting with your thoughts and you just honestly become emotionally numb. Like that is what can happen when you socially isolate yourself and you have these feelings of disconnection. Is basically you're preventing yourself from fully being in the present moment and from experiencing the emotions that you're supposed to experience. And I myself am a big victim of this, and I've been a big victim of this back then. And like my friends would oftentimes notice, especially Larry, because I don't know, Larry just happens to be there in those situations where I tend to have anxiety attacks. And one good example could be whenever my friend Kyle would invite me to one of his parties at his little clubhouse thing that he owns. When I would go to one of these parties, like obviously I don't know everybody there. I feel so uncomfortable. Like I'm constantly sweating. Like my body is there, but inside and my mind, like inside I'm dying and my mind is completely out of the situation. Like I'm just like a walking zombie. And I know right when I get out from that party or when I choose to leave, I just break down emotionally. Like I start having an anxiety attack. I start telling myself like, man, I should have said no to going to this fucking whack ass party. Which by the way, Kyle, your parties are not whack. It's just my thoughts. And my mind would just convince me to just be in comfort, to spend time by myself, or I should have been at home. And that is not a good thing, because if you've experienced any of these signs, that explains why your mental health isn't as good or as the best as it can be. And now, I know throughout this video, I may have given you guys some good advice, or maybe I haven't. I just can't really think of it right now just because I've talked a lot throughout this video. But I do want to leave you guys with one tip, and I promise you this tip will work for anybody and everybody. I guarantee it. And that tip is take things super slow. Just take one of these factors I listed, or take one of the other factors you've recognized that you need to work on, and work on that one thing until you fucking master it. And never, ever, ever let anybody or social media convince you that you have to have everything figured out right here, right now, in the present moment of your life, because that is just not realistic whatsoever. Just take things slow and give it time, and I promise you, you will better your mental health. Anyways, guys, that's going to go ahead and wrap up the video. I want to thank you all so much for watching. I'm hoping you guys found this video helpful. Like that is my intent when I make these mental health videos, is to help you guys. And like you've probably seen at the beginning, I left it in the video probably, but I've been trying to record this video for the last fucking week. Like I've been trying to make sure that I get all my thoughts and all my words out into this camera in front of me and on this mic, so you guys can get the best tips and the best advice from me. And I'm hoping that I did that. But anyways, guys, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to go ahead and do me a favor and smash the like button for your boy. It literally takes 1 second. Just scroll down right now as I'm talking, smash the like button for your boy, leave a comment down below, share this video with your friends and or your family members. And then last but not least, if you're new here, I want you to go ahead and do 2 things for me. First of all, I want you to scroll down right now and smash that red subscribe button so you can go ahead and be a part of the family, be a part of the journey, and be a part of all the bullshit that I be doing on the daily, and that I be recording, and that be going on in my life. And then second of all, I want you to go ahead and turn on that post notifications, that bell button right there, so you get notified of whenever I upload a video, and so that you don't miss out on any of my future uploads. I want to thank you all for your continuous love and support, and I'll catch y'all in my next video. Peace!